Hey friends, I'm Scott Hanselman and it's Azure Friday. I'm learning all about Azure Files today with Mike Emard. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, today I'm going to talk mainly about some new snapshot and recovery features we have. But before we get into that, I'll take 30 seconds just to give an overview of what Azure Files is. So Azure Files is a fully managed SMB service in Azure, right? And so there's three kind of classifications of scenarios people want to use this for. One is if you have an on-prem application that uses SMB share, you can just migrate that right up to Azure. Two is if you're developing cloud applications, you can use not only SMB, but also our REST protocol, right? And three, if you want to modernize your on-prem services and add synchronization to Azure or use Azure as a hub and synchronize across multiple sites, you can do that as well. And that's leveraging a technology we call Azure Files Sync, which we did another Azure Friday video on. So what I'd like to do is jump right into a demo, show how to create a share, and start doing some snapshots and recovery.
Briefly though, for context, so people who don't know the three-letter acronym, SMB, server message block, this is when you map a drive to something like, I sometimes will say, go to whack server whack share or net use.
Exactly.
I can net use to Azure?
That's right, exactly, yep. So we can do it, you can do that in Azure or on-prem. I'm going to show it connecting to using this laptop right here.
Very cool, let's see it.
All right, so the first thing you're going to need to do is create a storage account, but for the sake of time, I'm going to use a storage account that I've already created here.
Okay, and we can use any storage account because I've got lots of storage accounts.
I would recommend you would create a new storage account if you're going to create a new project. It's just going to make it easier for you to manage in the future.
Okay.
All right, so you have your storage account, and you go down to Files, and you'll see that I've already created a few shares here. But we're going to create a new one just to show you how easy it is. So create a file share, we'll just call it share 8. And for a quota, this can be up to 5 terabytes today, but this summer we're going to be releasing a preview feature that allows that to go up to 100 terabytes.
Am I paying for how big that number is or how much I use?
Just how much you use.
Oh, that's cool. So I could make that number big if I was
You
cool
can
with
make that big, yep.
All right.
Yep. So, but I only need a little bit here, so I'm going to do 16.
It's amazing though, because I see you have 50 gigs and 32 gigs like it's nothing.
Yeah, I just throw it up there, like you say. Like for this version, it's you're only paying for what you're using.
All right. So then you're making another one that's 16. Cool.
Yep. And it's already created, very quick. And now I'll show you how to actually connect to that share.
All right.
Right. So we make this so easy. There's just a little connect button here. Now you can connect to the share through to Mac OS, Linux, or Windows. I'm using a Windows machine here, but I'm just going to pick the drive letter that I want to mount to. Let's just pick W.
Oh, and it's writing the instructions for you.
It's just writing the instructions for me. Super easy. So I'll just copy that. I'm going to paste it into PowerShell here.
Right. So you're in PowerShell doing new -PowerShell drive. For the old timers like myself, we might say net use, but it's all the same thing. It's that underlying SMB technology.
That's right. That's right. All right. And so I've already connected to the share here.
Okay.
There's my share 6.
That's share 6. You just did
I just did share 8.
So
I've done too many of these. Thank you.
If you go to this.
That's right. So here we go. Share
Yeah, there
8.
it is. And it's W. And interestingly, you can see there's your username there, because or a mangled version of it, .file. So that's W. That is literally the one you just made.
That's right. That's right. Share 8. And Emard Demo 1 is actually the storage account name.
Oh, I see. That's the storage account name.
That's right. Yep. So let's just create a text file here.
I think a lot of people don't realize that they have this available. Lots of people use Azure Storage, but you could make a file share and use it at your office for your company
super easy.
in no time at all.
All over SMB 3.0, secure across the internet.
And same pricing as Azure Storage, coming and going and storing.
Files has different pricing than blob storage and that type of thing, and all that's listed on the page.
All right.
All right, so we have this new document here. So I'll just say hello. All right, so now that we actually put some content in the share, I'm going to show how to take a snapshot.
Okay.
All right. So I'll go back up to the Azure portal, select the share, and you can see the file that I just created is right there. You can actually upload files using the Azure portal as well. But I'm going to go over here to Snapshot and create a snapshot.
Okay.
Boom. It was that easy, right?
And that's the entire file system, not just that file.
That's just the entire file system. I happen to have one file in there now, but yep, that's going to snapshot everything that's in that share.
Wow.
Yep, and so now I'm going to go back to this file and simulate a corruption.
Okay.
By just going like this, And then we'll save it. All right, so now, I took a snapshot before when it just said hello in a nice clean way. And now there's a few different ways you can do a restore. One is just integrated with Windows, right? So you can use the previous versions API. You can go here to previous versions. This is going to go pick up any version that was different in any of the snapshots that we have. So here it is right here. So we can go.
You're freaking me out. I didn't even know that was, like, I know that file history was a Windows thing for local drives. I didn't realize that that worked like this.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
So on a file by file basis, it could, so a user, one of my users could do this on their own.
Absolutely, yep. And so there it is. There's the clean file. So
Can I schedule these snapshots?
That's where Azure Backup comes in. So I'll show you how to do that as well.
Nice.
Yep, so there's that previous versions on the file level, but you can actually do it on the share level as well. I'm going to pick a share that has more files in it because it's just slightly more interesting.
Yep.
But you can go up here to restore previous versions. And this is going to show you every snapshot that was taken, not just where the file changed, because it's doing all the files. Right? And if you open one of these, it's actually going to let you browse the snapshot through Explorer. So you haven't restored everything yet, but you can browse the namespace and find the files or a group of files that you want.
So you're looking at a view of the past.
This is a view of the snapshot. So at this point, I could grab 2 files and move them somewhere else or do something like that.
Okay, because if you had a large multi-user share, you don't want to go and change it out from underneath them.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
So there's that way. So that's kind of integrated in Windows. You can also restore files up here in Azure. So if you go up to your snapshots.
Are snapshots complete copies? If I had 5 gigs and I said snapshot, 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 do I have 15 now?
They're incremental.
They're incremental?
Yeah.
Okay, so it really is delta.
Yep, that's right. So here we are. I just browsed one of these snapshots in here, and I could restore from within the portal here.
Right.
So everything I've shown so far is just part of core Azure Files. And all that snapshot and restore capability is available through our REST API as well.
Nice.
So other backup providers could integrate with that. But we do have integration right out of the box with Azure Backup as well. And so now we'll shift gears a little bit and talk about Azure Backup. I do want to say that all that file functionality is in preview now, but it will be going generally available in March or April of this year.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to the Azure Backup integration.
Right, and it's a good segue because it's actually telling you in that file share snapshot, hey, you're thinking about snapshots, maybe think about backups.
Right, exactly. All right, so to configure a backup, Azure Backup, first you need a recovery vault in the same Azure region as the storage account. I have one created already. It just takes about a minute to create, so I'm not going to do that in this video.
Okay. And how is a vault different from a storage thing?
It's separate from a storage account. It's really a concept around backup and recovery, right? And so a vault can be in the same storage account, which is what I'm going to show today. But it can also be in other storage accounts.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so you have options there.
All right.
So we're going to add a new backup. Now my workload is running in Azure, but it's not a virtual machine. It's an Azure file share.
Oh, I see. And the vaults can contain your file shares and also virtual machines.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
And the vaults can contain multiple backups?
Yes, you can schedule backups, and the vault can hold whatever your retention policy is.
Nice.
Right. So this is showing me all the storage accounts that I can protect with this vault. All right. Sometimes it takes a minute for new shares to show up here. So I'm just going to create a share that I already have.
Sure. That's the one you had a lot more files in anyway.
That's right. So you can select a backup policy that you already have, like this nightly backup that's going to occur at 2 a.m., and you can reuse that policy across all your shares, right? Or you can create a new policy. If you create a new policy, you could set the time that you wanted it to be, and your retention policy here, you were asking how many.
Yeah.
We can store up to 200 in Azure Files. So 200 snapshots when you combine what Azure Backup is doing as well as what you take manually. So let's just pick that nightly backup for simplicity. Enable backup. So that's it. Now I've scheduled backups.
One of the things that I think people don't realize, and I hope that people understand, that even though this stuff scales at huge levels, and you could go and put giant company or giant government, and they could do terabytes and terabytes, think about the simplicity for a small business. How many small businesses do we know? How many small businesses have the people watching the show worked on, where there's a server under Anna's desk that we all throw our files on,
Yep.
that can go away.
Right.
And you can get backups, regular backups, and you've done this in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
This wasn't, you know what I mean? This is like a real thing. Like
Yep.
all that IT stuff, as I like to say, the entire second page of my resume is now ripped out and it's become a checkbox in Azure, which
Yep.
is really exciting.
Makes it very easy.
Yeah, you could set this up very quickly. So I could go and take my server at home and do some sync and then have this multiply backed up in Azure as well.
Yeah, you could. Yep. There's one more thing I want to show, which
Please.
is how you could do recovery from Azure Backup. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard here, and I'm going to pick a share that has already been protected by Azure Backup for a few days.
Okay.
So click
So it's been
files.
running at night.
Yeah, it's been running at night. 6 p.m. is how I configured this one.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to go to Manage Backups here. Since this has the Azure integration, the UI is a little different. All right, so now I can do file level recovery here or restore a full share. We're going to do the share. So I can pick any backup that I had. I'll just pick my first one. Now a really cool thing here is like you can do what you would expect, which is like override the files that are already there, or you can go to an alternate location. Right? So I can actually restore to a different storage account or a different share, which is kind of like a clone feature, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to restore to just a new share, excuse me, a new folder within the same share, just because it's easier for the demo.
I see.
So we'll just
So you're not going to overwrite everyone's stuff.
I'm not going to override everyone's stuff. I'm not going to send it to another storage account. But I just want to point out that that capability is there and kick it off. Now that same functionality about being able to restore to a different location is available on an individual file level as well. I won't show that for the sake of time.
Right.
And since this will take a few minutes to go kick off, I'm just going to show kind of the baked cake.
Right.
So what will end up happening here is you would get a new folder like this. And everyone sees that just right in the share. And you can click in there and see all the files.
And they could individually go through and pick the ones that they needed to, recover what they wanted to.
That's right. Yep.
Very cool. So what's in preview and what's not? And by the time people watch this, things might not be in preview.
So all the Snapshot functionality is in preview today.
Okay.
The pieces that are core to Azure Files, just like to be able to take a snapshot, do recovery, the previous versions, all of that, that should be going GA March or April of this year. And then all the Azure Backup stuff that I just showed will be available in the second half of this year.
Very cool. It sounds like there's some exciting stuff happening around Azure Files.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I am learning all about Azure Files here on Azure Friday.